You know that feeling, right? You find the perfect video for a lesson and you think, yes, this is it. Only to realize that's just the start. The real work, creating all the materials to actually go with it, well, that's a whole other story. Today, we're going to dive into how to solve that exact problem.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. You've got this amazing piece of content. Maybe it's a great TED Talk or a clip from a documentary. But turning that little spark of inspiration into a full lesson plan, with the quizzes and the vocab lists and the summaries, man, that can take hours. And this right here, this is what we're talking about, the classic lesson planning problem. It's that manual, super time-consuming grind of trying to squeeze every last drop of educational value out of one source. Look, it's work that has to be done, but let's be honest, it's often the most draining part of the job.
Yeah, that gap between finding an awesome resource and actually being ready to use it in your classroom, it can feel like you're staring up at a mountain of prep work. But what if there was a tool that could pretty much flatten that mountain into a molehill?
Okay, so this is where your new AI teaching assistant comes into play. It's called NotebookLM, it's from Google, and it is a really powerful and free and incredibly accessible solution that is designed to tackle this exact challenge.
So what is it exactly? Well, think of NotebookLM as an AI partner that works exclusively with the sources that you give it. So you feed it a document, a link, a video, whatever, and it instantly becomes an expert on that specific material, ready to help you create pretty much anything you need from it.
And the best part, the workflow itself is so simple. It's really just 3 steps. Step 1, you add your source, like a YouTube link. Step 2, you write a simple prompt telling the tool what you want. And step 3, you generate an almost endless supply of custom content. No, seriously, it's that easy. All right, to show you just how powerful this thing is, let's walk through a little case study. We're going to take one single TED Talk and use NotebookLM to build an entire lesson plan around it, right from scratch. Okay, first up, comprehension questions. You know the drill, right? Normally, this means rewatching the video, hitting pause, scribbling down notes. It's such a grind. With this, you just ask. A single prompt gets you 10 level-appropriate questions in a matter of seconds. And this is the best part, you can even ask for the answer key at the same time. The whole task? Just done. All right, next up, vocabulary. Same idea. With a simple prompt asking for useful words for, say, a B2 level, NotebookLM just instantly pulls out the key terms and their definitions. And you can even take it a step further. Ask for example sentences and boom, you've got a ready-to-use handout for your students, just like that. And hey, you don't have to stop at simple lists. You can get way more creative. How about a matching activity? You can just ask NotebookLM to pull out some useful phrases and turn them into an exercise where students have to match the beginning of a phrase with its ending. And, of course, it spits out the answer key for you. It's kind of like having your own personal activity designer on call 24/7. You can also push it even further, beyond just simple exercises. Try asking for 2 different summaries of the same video, one written in a formal style and one that's super informal. This creates an absolutely fantastic activity where your students can analyze the language, pick out the different tones, and really understand what register is. And this is where the AI stops being just a tool and starts becoming a true creative partner. But hold on, because we're not just limited to text-based stuff. NotebookLM can also generate custom audio. This takes your lesson plan to a whole new level of engagement. I mean, just imagine creating a custom-made podcast for your class based on the video they just watched. Let me show you how this works. The expert Russell Stannard really nails it here. He points out that the real power is in the customization. The audio you create doesn't just have to be a summary of the video. No, it can be a totally new piece of content focused on exactly what you want your students to learn. So let's walk through an example. Say you want to create one of these custom podcasts. All you do is select Generate Audio, click Customize, and then give it a really specific prompt. For example, you could say, create a podcast about the 15 most useful phrases from this video for B2 learners. You're completely repurposing the original material for a very specific learning goal.
And what do you get? A downloadable audio file, a little mini podcast that you can use as a listening activity in class or even assign for homework. It is a completely bespoke learning resource created in minutes, and it's perfectly tailored to your lesson.
So this all brings us to a much bigger idea, right? Because there's this common worry that AI tools are somehow going to take away our creativity. But the real shift in thinking here is to stop seeing AI as just a content generator and start seeing it as a true creative collaborator.
And this quote from Russell Standard, again, it just perfectly captures that feeling you get when you start playing around with it. He said that the more experimental he got, the more he pushed the tool with creative prompts, the more he felt like the materials were actually his. They become truly yours.
So look, this isn't about replacing an educator's skill or creativity. Not at all. It's about augmenting it. The AI handles all that tedious, time-consuming prep work, and that frees you up to focus on the high-level creative and pedagogical thinking that really matters. Your role shifts from being just a content creator to being a content curator and a learning facilitator.
So by turning that mountain of prep work into something that takes just a few minutes, NotebookLM frees up your time, it boosts your creativity, and it lets you build way richer, more dynamic learning experiences. The possibilities are, well, they're pretty much endless. So I guess the real question is, what will you create?